Every one of us, we all have a philosophy about life. What do you mean philosophy of life? What is it that I should do to become happy? You ask anyone in this world, what is your idea of happiness? How should we live? You will find that everyone will have one philosophy. An understanding, born out of understanding. They will have a vision about life. Now, how do we develop this vision? Every one of us, we develop this vision by analyzing our experiences in life. All of us, we go through a lot of experiences. We constantly interact with the world. And this interaction brings a lot of experience. We analyze our experience, and based on this analysis of our experience, we form certain concepts regarding life. Certain understanding. This understanding about life is called drishti or vision or the philosophy of life. And based on this philosophy, you will do everything in life. A situation is analyzed based on this philosophy. Decisions are taken based on this philosophy. Priorities are set based on this philosophy. Likes and dislikes are formed based on this philosophy. You meet people based on this philosophy. You avoid people based on this philosophy. You go to places based on this philosophy. You avoid certain places based on this. Everything in your life is based on the philosophy of life which you carry. So therefore, the most important thing is the vision of life or the philosophy. As far as a seeker is concerned, he has nothing to worry because there is the scripture to guide him, to give him the right vision. And he has faith in the scriptures. So therefore, a perfect vision is given to him. With this vision, he walks the right path, safe, secure. But what about an ordinary man who is not fortunate enough to have faith in the scriptures? Such a person will have to make his own philosophy based on his experience. There is no guidance which he takes from others. What is that philosophy which will make? Now here we are talking of such people. So what is his philosophy? That is what is shown here. So what is said here? Te ahuhu, they say. So this is their philosophy. They say. They say means they believe in this. What do they believe? Jagat asatyam. Jagat apratishtham. Jagat anishwaram. This is their understanding. The first one, Jagat asatyam. Jagat asatyam means what? Now don't bring your Vedantic knowledge here. Jagat is mithya. He doesn't know Jagat is mithya. So here asatyam cannot be taken that way. A jnani also says Jagat is asatyam. But don't take that meaning here. Jagat asatyam means what? According to him, Jagat asatyam means the whole world runs in dishonesty. If you want to be successful in this world, you must be a master in cheating, in being dishonest, in being corrupt, in being immoral, in being illegal. If you are a master of manipulation, then you are a successful person in this life. This is his understanding. Jagat asatyam means this. How did he come to his conclusion? His own experience. What else? His own observation. So he finds that whoever is corrupt and dishonest, they are succeeding in life. So what does it mean? If you want to succeed in life, you also must follow all those immoral, illegal ways. So he sees there are people who get the job. How? Pay bribe, get the job. There are people who get their driving license. How? Meet the RTO, grease his palms and get your driving license. Without even seeing the vehicle, you can get driving license. Do you know? What does it mean? If you have influence, If you have power, if you have money, then you are a successful person. Look at these ministers, the MPs and the MLAs and all those ministers. How did they come there? Through corruption. And what are they doing there? Corruption. What does it mean? Corruption is the law of life. What is the purpose of education? Education teaches you how to be more efficiently corrupt. Because poor man, illiterate man, he can only do some fraud of thousands of rupees. But if you are educated, then you can do fraud of thousands of crores of rupees. Because you know the nitty-gritties of the law. Isn't it? Now this is what he sees. And according to his vision, he is forming that philosophy. What he sees, he is forming the philosophy. Everywhere he finds that the poor man is not at all valued, not respected. They are trampled upon. And slowly he forms this Jagat Asatyam. Good people have no place in this world. Honest people have no place in this world. If you want to succeed, if you want to come up, there is no other way. Push others down. All kinds of illegal, immoral ways. That is the only way. Look at the people who commit all crimes. They escape. They get away with all that. Why? They have influence with the higher authorities. Jagat Asatyam. If you want to purchase a plot, construct a house, how many people you have to bribe? If your file has to move in the government office, how many people you have to bribe? Yes or no? Now with all these experiences, slowly, he forms a philosophy. And what is the philosophy? What is the vision? Now this is drishti. What is this drishti? I must also be corrupt if I want to survive. The whole world is corrupt. One is Jagat Asatyam. So this is the way they think. This is the way they act upon in this world. This is the way you have to understand. Jagat Asatyam. Jagat Asatyam. And he will have lot of examples to quote. Mahatma Gandhi was killed. Isn't it? Who was Mahatma Gandhi? A person who walked the path of truth and non-violence. So what is the proof? What is the conclusion? A person who walks the path of truth, he can't survive. Mahatma Gandhi was an embodiment of truth and non-violence. But what did this world do? Killed him. Jesus Christ, an embodiment of goodness. What did this world do? Crucified him. Martin Luther King, the follower of Mahatma Gandhi. What did this world do? Killed him. Abraham Lincoln, a gem of a person. What did this world do? Killed him. Shot him to death. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Jagat Asatyam. If you want to survive in this world, if you want to be successful in this world, there is no choice for you. Now, once you form this philosophy about life, what will be your lifestyle? Need not say, isn't it? You cannot but live your philosophy. You are your philosophy. Such a person who has got this kind of philosophy, you will find him helplessly becoming a murderer, a criminal, a gunda, whatever name you call. You take an interview of all the prisoners in the jail. They will have this philosophy. They will be burning in revenge. Jagat Asatyam. Next one, Jagat Apratishtham. There is no pratishtha for this world. Pratishtha means what? There is no ethical and moral principles upon which this world is functioning. Pratishtha means support. This world has no support. It is not supported by any solid ethical and moral laws. What does it mean? Now in our scriptures, all these laws are mentioned. What is a law? Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. These are all laws. Laws at the ethical and moral level. As you sow, so shall you reap. This is a law. Karma theory, it's a law. Whatever actions you do, someday or the other, the karma phala will come back to you. This is a law. The scriptures guide the person that way. But since this person has not read any scriptures, or he has no faith also, he is called a charvaka. Such people are called charvakas. A sensualist. Who is a sensualist? Sensual is the person who believes only in his senses. What I see, I believe. What I don't see, I don't believe. So tell him this karma theory. Get lost with your karma theory. What karma theory you are talking of? There is nothing called karma theory. In this world I see the corrupt people are enjoying life and the poor people are suffering. Where is your karma theory here? This really happened once when I went to one devotee's house. In fact, that Amma had called me for Bhiksha. I didn't know that her husband was an atheist and all this kind of. He started arguing, not even allowing me to speak a word. He just went on and on and on. He said, Swamiji, I heard your talk. You're telling something like, whatever good you do comes back and all. I don't believe. He said, I'll give a practical example. There is this motorcyclist who is driving rashly on the road and he hits an old man. He falls down. Either he is dead or with all the bones fractured. And this fellow, hit and run case, he escapes. Where is your karma theory? The sowing is done by somebody, reaping is done by somebody else. His careless driving, but who is suffering? Somebody else. Where is your karma theory? It's not that we don't have answers. We have answers, and I know you also know the answer. What is the answer? May not be in this birth, some birth. Old man must have hit this young fellow. So somewhere the equation has to match. This is karma theory. This fellow saying, in front of I don't talk about this, rebirth and past birth and all. Nonsense. I don't believe in it. No, he says, I don't believe in this karma theory. In this world itself we'll find that such injustice happening. What is your answer? Now this is called Jagat Apratya. See, unless you study the scriptures, you will never know. When you see, only depending upon your senses, when you see the world, these questions are natural. Small children suffering in the slum, rotting in the slum, mentally retarded. Now where is karma there? Child is newly born, he is yet to do some karma, but he is suffering. What answer will you give? So they say this karma theory and all useless. Jagat Apratya. There are no moral or ethical laws. We find all categories in this world. Then Jagat Anishwaram. If you say there is a supreme Lord who is taking care of this universe, an omniscient Lord, an omnipotent, omnipresent Lord who is taking care of this universe, he says, stop your nonsense. This world, which God? Prove it. I believe only in proof. I am a rational person. Don't talk this nonsense to me. You say there is God. Prove it. Which God are you talking of? And then he will quote examples. India is considered to be a spiritual country with so many temples, etc. How many times the Mughals and the foreigners have invaded? Ghazni, he attacked some temple, Somnath temple I think. 17 times he attacked, looted everything from there. At that time these Brahmanas were chanting mantras. They killed those Brahmanas also. Looted everything, gems and jewels. Your God, which is worshipped inside that sanctorum, they lifted that God also, made of gold or silver or whatever. If that God cannot protect himself, how is he able to protect the universe? Such helpless, poor God, That itself is a proof that there is no God. You are doing so much of worship there, chanting there, this, that, etc. Everything has been done. That God cannot protect himself. And these invaders, they took that also away. They entered into the sanctum sanctorum, took that God away. That itself shows that there is no God. Isn't it? All the temples in India, everywhere you will find gods and goddesses in a mutilated condition. These idols which are carved on rocks, everywhere it is mutilated. Especially when the invasion had happened. And they enjoyed, they looted everything, went away, lived a life of luxury and comforts. Where is your God? The so-called God. And that too, these are all happening in spiritual country like India, where everywhere spirituality is there. This itself shows that there is nothing called God. So much of corruptions are happening, so much of injustice is happening here in this world. Those your so-called God who is seeing everything, what is he doing when such things are happening? And you have no answer. We have answer, but a person who has not attended satsang, etc., he will be just flabbergasted, as they say. Then what is this experience of God? That I will tell you what it is. These people, the so-called spiritual people, they live an unnatural life. What is unnatural life? They suppress the natural urges in the body, like sexual desire, etc. They suppress it. And because of this unnatural life, because of lot of suppression, there is a chemical imbalance in the body. And because of this chemical imbalance, there is some kind of hallucination. This God experience is also that hallucination. Because they are living an unnatural life, the mind is out of balance, and out of balance mind may see anything. This God is nothing but that. So therefore, don't bring your God now and then. This world, as far as this world is concerned, science can explain everything. Science is enough. Why do you unnecessarily drag that God into? Everything can be explained through science. What is creation? Big Bang. And the whole world is created. Why do you bring God there? God created the world. When everything can be explained through cause and effect, when everything can be explained through laws of physics and laws of chemistry, the chemical reactions, when everything can be explained logically this way, why do you bring your God here? Now this is called Jagat Anishwaram. There is no God. Science can explain everything. You don't have to bring your God in between. Now they will cite some examples. Look at that Swami, that fake Swami. He was showing a lot of miracles, bringing out things from air. Actually, it is fake. Why? Science can explain it. And then they will show that these things can be done. Bringing out maybe vibhuti from somewhere or some kind of miracles. They say there is no miracle here, it is nothing but science. And they prove it. Some chemical or something. And therefore, what is the conclusion? The conclusion, since this Swami is fake, all Swamis are fake. All spiritual people are fake. Everyone talking about God is fake. Because science can explain. There are very many things which science is not able to explain today, but tomorrow it will be able to explain. Because in the past there were so many things which we are not able to explain. Today the science is able to explain. It simply means that by inference, in the future, a time will come and everything can be explained through science. Through logic. This is their argument. Jagat Ahu Anishwaram. No, we say God is consciousness. Consciousness, nonsense. You say God, consciousness is God? Yeah. What is consciousness? Listen to me. When the chemicals come together, a new phenomena come up. That is consciousness. It is natural. Now these Charvakas, they believe only in these four elements. What are they? Air, fire, water, earth. They don't believe in space as an element. They say these four elements, when they combine together, a fifth, because of their chemical reaction, a fifth component is born, that is called as life. Life by itself has no existence. It is a product of a combination of the four elements. But see, All the four elements are inert. How can this be sentient? When you argue, you say, I will give an example. Take beetle leaf. Take lime. What is the color of beetle leaf? Green. Take lime. What is the color of lime? Chuna. White. Take beetle nut. What is the color? Brown. Mix it. When you chew, what is the color? Red. Where did this red come from? So 3 different colors you combine and a 4th color has come, isn't it? Exactly in the same way. In the same way, these 4 elements have come together and a 5th thing has come up. What is it? Consciousness. Don't call it God and all that. A time will come in the future when more and more, anyway the research is happening, a time will come when we will clearly know what life is. And in the laboratory you will be able to produce life. This is their argument. Jagat ahuhu anishwaram. So there is nothing called karma phaladata or karma adhyaksha. No. Stop all nonsense. The whole world is nothing but science and science alone. Yes, if you want to talk about the laws of science. Laws of gravitation, yes. Laws of electricity, yes. Laws of physics, yes. You speak in that language. Don't bring this element called God. This is called Jagadahuhu Anishwaram. I hope your faith is not settled. Faith is not unsettled. Swamiji, what you say is right. What they say is right. I think I should stop this Bhagavad Gita class only. You must have enough reasoning power in you to say that what all has been said, these arguments of a Asuric person, they are all fallacious. You must know it. See, such arguments are good because it makes us think. Meeting such people are also good because you rake your brain in order to get a satisfying answer. Now and then in life you meet such people. So what is the definition of Jagat? Asatyam, Apratishtham and Anishwaram. Now you ask him, but how is this creation happening? Arey, Aparaspara Sambhutam. It's as simple as that. How do the species go on multiplying? Aparaspara Sambhutam. Male, female come together and then the children are born. But why do they come together? Kimanyat kama haitukam. They come together because of sexual desire. Finished. Out of lust, they are attracted towards each other and thus the species, it continues. Reproduction continues. Why do you bring God here? That is the point. Everything can be explained by science. So there is nothing called God. Now this philosophy is called as Charvaka philosophy. Charuvak. Charuvak means sweet words. So what is their philosophy? Yavat jivet sukham jivet. Ranam kritva ghritam pibet. Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha. As long as you live, yavat jivet sukham jivet. Happily you live. Ranam kritva ghritam pibet. Beg, borrow or steal. Ranam kritva, take loan. Ghritam pibet, drink ghee, enjoy life. Well, the real thing in life is enjoyment. Enjoyment is what? Indulge in all possible pleasures. Live in every moment. Every moment you should enjoy. Eat, drink, be merry. Ranam kritva, ghritam pibet. What is death? What about rebirth and all punya papa? Nonsense. There is nothing called punya papa. There is nothing called dharma dharma. Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha. How can a body which has been turned into ashes, where is the question of its coming back? So you believe in punarjanma? Nonsense. Use your common sense. How can a body which has been turned into ashes, how can it come back alive? So therefore there is no punarjanma. This is called Charvaka philosophy. So what is the purpose of life? Artha, Kama. There is nothing called Dharma, Moksha and all. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Only two they accept. Artha, Kama. Earn as much as you can. Indulge as much as you can. This is successful living.